we're back. Oh, yes. So, today is the first day in our cheese board week.
Cheese board. I love a cheese board.
With Christmas coming up, and, cheese boards are a thing at Christmas. You'd quite happily have them as a thing all year,
I was going to
really,
say, just remember cheese is not just for Christmas.
Cheese is for life, not
Cheese
just for Christmas.
Cheese is survival.
So, we thought we'd take a look at some of the goodies you could put on your cheese board. In two ways,
Yes.
really. So, we're looking at fig, apple and balsamic chutney from a bit of a pickle.
Yummy. Yummy, yummy.
Young Irina. A bit of a pickle.com is where you can get this. Link in the description. Now in here, we are having some figs, some apples, some onions, some balsamic vinegar, Italian balsamic vinegar, some red wine vinegar, sugar and spices.
And this is a quite a limited stock on this as well.
Yeah.
Because of figs being available seasonally.
So
So get in if you can.
the figs were grown 30 metres from the kitchen
Yeah.
in which this was made. You can't get much more local than that, can you?
You absolutely can't.
So, fig, apple and balsamic chutney. And we're going to try these.
Two ways.
JohnnyScoville.com. Get your Chase the Heat hot sauce tasting spoon. Comes in its own little case. Absolutely. Don't taint your chutney, bro. Indeed. So, armed and ready to go. But
However,
being a cheese board kind of week, we also thought we should try it on some cheese.
not just any cheese.
Bacon cheese. So, yeah, chiliproject.co.uk. Every year, well, at least the last few years, they bring this out, which is their extra mature whiskey oat smoked cheddar cheese.
Let's be honest with you, I don't think we're not going to, I don't think we're going to let them not bring it out
No.
every year, are we?
No, you've made a lifetime commitment, Rick,
Yeah.
with this cheese.
I hope you realise this. I know where you live.
Yeah, it's on the website. This is something else. It really is. I'm not a big cheese eater. Okay. Something to do with the fact my body hates dairy. So I tend to go for really strong flavoured cheeses. Vintage cheddar is my thing, because I can get a lot of flavour with not very much. This is next level. It really is. It's got an absolutely great taste to it.
It's creamy, it's tangy, it's got the smokiness. It just smells amazing.
I got, when I ordered my parcel of bacon cheese, I got 4 blocks. Okay, now that might seem a lot until you taste it. One was a gift. Yeah, one's in the freezer for later in the year, next year, maybe like New Year's or something. One is open, and here is number 4. Okay, kept in its packaging for display purposes for these videos. Believe me, it won't last. So
we're going to taste in 2 ways then, aren't we? So
we
we're
are.
going to taste with the tasting spoons, and we're going to be
tasting spoons and bits of bacon cheese. any excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going about this in a cunning way, so we're not double dipping. We are
So
going to have...
I have a spoon on which I will take some.
I hate double dipping.
Look at that. Oh. And then
Glossy, isn't it?
I shall transfer it onto my tasting spoon, like so.
And I shall do the same, but probably in a much more messy fashion.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Oh my god, I can smell the spices already.
Oh, that smells immense.
Oh, it does smell really, really Christmassy, doesn't it?
Mm.
It's a real sweetness there. I can smell, you know, you get the
Getting the
onions and the
apples and the
spices, the
figs
apples,
and-
yeah,
oh.
and that vinegar there as well. But you're just getting the colour and the richness. It darkens it up with that balsamic in there as well, doesn't it? So, can't wait to get to this. Oh god, that's almost good enough to put in an apple pie, isn't it?
Wow.
That's lovely. It's got a really... It's got some texture to it, so you know your apple is not just completely down. It's, you know, it is. There are little bits of apple that you can chew on in there. The onion, you've got this sweetness, but then you've got the tartness from the two vinegars as well. But you know, another part of that sweetness is going to come from the balsamic. This burst of spice, but the whole thing has just got such a richness about it, hasn't it?
Mm. Now,
I'll try it with the cheese. Yeah. That balances well. That does balance well.
oh my.
I'm going to let you go on this one.
So, what she said for the, you know, off the spoon, in terms of having it as a chutney with cheese, okay, first off you need to understand the really smoky flavour behind that cheese. Okay, having that balanced against the fruitiness, the little acidic hit from the vinegar, you know, that note of balsamic in there as well, with the spices, oh my god. Now, Ray says this particular chutney was her bestseller in 2018 and 2019, and oh boy, I can see why. That is insanely good.
I could eat that out of the jar, just literally with a spoon.
You could use that, like you were saying, like a kind of
An enhancement to
fruit
an apple.
fruit
apple tart.
filler for. Can you imagine like a roly-poly?
Well,
But
I was
instead of
actually
jam.
thinking, I don't know if anybody has ever had, it was something that Mum used to make as a child, but baked apples. So you'd get a cooking apple and you'd kind of hollow it out, and you'd normally fill it with mincemeat or something like that. I would swap that in, and I think that would be incredible.
Oh god.
Because all of those spices, it's that sort of Christmas mincemeat spice
Christmas in a jar.
flavour.
Yeah.
But you've just got that richness of the apples and the figs. But it's so fresh tasting.
It really is good. I can easily see why that's been a bestseller the last 2 years, and if there is any justice, it will be this year as well, because seriously, guys, get a jar.
But it balanced
two.
really well with the cheese, didn't it? You know, you still got the flavour and the spice from the chutney and the smokiness from the cheese. So
Yeah.
they complemented and balanced.
I think
One
you could
didn't
use that
overpower
on
the other.
pretty much any cheese.
Yeah.
You know, soft cheeses, what I call the mouldy cheeses.
Blue cheese.
That's the one.
I love blue cheese.
Mouldy cheese. So yeah, you could anything, as long as it's got a little bit of flavour, you're fine with that. If you were using it on something really mild, like
If you're just using like a very mild cheddar, you'd probably struggle with it. I think if you were using a softer cheese, like a Balsamic or something like that, that's got the herbs and the garlic and stuff like that, and it would work well. Philadelphia, it would probably overpower it. It would be great, but you'd get the chutney.
as I was saying, if you were using it on a mild cheese, I went to America once, and my mum, she went to the shop, bless her, and she came back with some cheese, which said, proudly aged for 3 days on it. Now, this was a good while back, and America has found out about much more about cheese over the years. And they do some cracking ones now. But back then, 3-day aged cheddar was something they were proud of. And it was basically a yellow block with no flavour. Now, if you put that with it, first of all, it would make it edible. Okay. Secondly, you'd lose the cheese. Okay. So it does need some kind of flavour there. Because this, with the spices, the fruit, there's a lot of flavour in that jar. So yeah, you would need a good cheese. May I suggest the extra mature whiskey oat smoked cheddar cheese from chiliproject.co.uk. We know that this is a perfect pairing. Make sure you find out. Indeed. So there's no chili in it, so I'm not going to ask you for a heat score.
Nope.
How many jars do we need to buy before she runs out?
All the jars.
All the jars. Okay, right. So I know what I'll be doing when this video ends.
There you go. You wanted to know what to get me for Christmas.
Yep, a case of this. So, I think that's enough from us for now.
Indeed.
So thank you ever so much for watching.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Take care.
And we'll see you in the next one.